We have combined two drone types in one, actually. Classical multicopter that allows you to take off vertically. That's the configuration here, then like this. So all the motors are like this for vertical takeoff and landing. But then when we're in the air, we tilt the rotors by 90 degrees.
And it kind of becomes an airplane.
The drone becomes a fixed wing airplane.
All right. We're here at Wingcopter, a drone, which we will get more information about from Thomas from Wingcopter. Thomas, about Wingcopter and the drone, can you tell us a bit more? Where did it all start?
Okay. So yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. Thanks for stepping by. This is our drone. It's called the Wingcopter 198. And the 198 stands for the wingspan, actually.
Okay, so it's not the 198th version of it.
Nope. It's the second version. We had a version before that. So the wingspan is almost 2 meters. We use it for delivery purposes. So it's a delivery drone. Mainly medical deliveries, actually.
Okay.
We deliver blood, vaccines, medicines, or lab samples, for example.
So do you work together with like the big pharmaceutical companies, or you work more like with local?
With hospitals, with logistics, medical logistics providers, those kind of companies. Also with NGOs, for example. So we have a project in Malawi, for example, which you can see on that screen over there, where we deliver medical supplies to really hard to reach areas.
Okay.
So since infrastructure is pretty bad, it would take several hours by car to get there. If they need emergency medicines, or if they just run out of certain medicines or vaccines, sometimes they cannot store or keep vaccines cold for a certain period of time because they lack electricity. So they call us and we fly it to those remote villages within 30 minutes or so.
So what makes Wingcopter so special in this journey then? Like why are the companies choosing for your drone?
The answer is it's our technology, I would say. So we have combined two drone types in one, actually. The classical multicopter that allows you to take off vertically.
That's with
that's the configuration here, then like this. So all the motors are like this for vertical takeoff and landing, without any need for major infrastructure. But then when we're in the air, we tilt the rotors by 90 degrees.
And it kind of becomes an airplane.
The drone becomes a fixed wing airplane for much more efficient forward flight, right? So that allows us to fly up to 95 kilometers distance.
And like once it tilts, it doesn't drop in altitude anymore?
No, we can still go up. Once it's tilted, we usually fly at around 100 meters of height.
Okay.
And then we transition again to go down. So we go back in multicopter mode and we hover and go down like this.
What's like the maximum payload that the drone can carry?
We can carry up to 5 kilograms of payload.
5 kilos.
And that's quite a lot compared to our competitors. And also, if you consider that we mostly do medical deliveries, then 5 kilograms of medicines is already a lot.
Sorry.
And at the same time, medicines, are lightweight but have a high value.
Yeah.
So that's the ideal use case for us right now.
And I saw it's an unmanned drone, right? What does that mean? Is it like you define in a GPS, like, look, this is your end destination, or
we
does that work?
program a route with waypoints, upload it to the drone, and the drone follows those waypoints all the way to the final destination, where it goes down at a GPS coordinate, and it goes the same way back. So, and going down, landing allows us to take something on the way back as well. Others fly somewhere and drop it with a parachute or so. but by landing you can take, for example, samples that need to be analyzed in a centralized laboratory or district hospital on your way back.
And are there any specific requirements for it to lift off or to land, or it can land and lift off on any surface?
Basically, yes. Ideally, we have a paved space of 4 by 4 meters or so. 5 by 5 meters is more than enough. Yeah, but that's all that we need in terms of infrastructure.
Okay. And what is else in store for Wingcopter? Are you going to stick with medical supplies, or are you also looking at other things?
That's our sweet spot right now. That's our main focus. But of course, you can actually deliver anything that you want to deliver with it, or that needs to be delivered quite fast from A to B. So you could also deliver, let's say, spare parts or tools maybe that are needed at a construction site somewhere remotely or offshore. You can deliver stuff to oil rigs or to ships off the coast, wind farms, for example.
So you're looking to stay. What's your can you explain more your sweet spots? Like where do you define it?
So yeah, right now we focus on medical deliveries, all kinds of medical supplies. Laboratory samples is actually a really good market. We have a project together with Siemens Healthineers in Kenya, where we collect samples from different small clinics and bring them all together to a centralized laboratory to speed up the process, and also have the company gather more samples at all, because it's quite hard to bring them by car or by motorbike. Sometimes they get lost, sometimes they're not usable anymore when they arrive. That allows us to speed this process up and make it really secure.
And it's, as you said, like it's delivering goods that are small in size but high in value.
Right, yeah.
Do you think there's also a market for it for goods that are lower in value? For example, delivering beer.
This can be something in the future, yeah, definitely. Once operating costs and also the costs for the drone itself will go down, this will happen in the future. Once we can produce more, operating costs will also go down. For example, once we have one pilot controlling 10 drones, for example, at the same time. Right now it's 1-to-1, one pilot controlling one drone.
Okay, so even if it's unmanned, there's still a pilot behind it.
There is a safety pilot. You still need a safety pilot who controls whether everything is okay during the flight.
Okay.
But in the future we plan to have one pilot controlling 10 drones.
Okay, that sounds like a very
exciting. More
exciting.
efficient, right?
That sounds like a very exciting future.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to share about the Wingcopter that we didn't touch on yet?
You can see here, this is our aerodynamic delivery box down there, where we transport the products that we deliver. I can open up for you if you want. So this is where the medicines go in. We have this small box here that we use. It is temperature controlled and keeps the temperature at all times, because it's isolated, and you can put ice or cooling packs inside. So it keeps the temperature for like 8 hours or so, they're always the same. This would go in there. But this is just one way of delivering. We also have a winch mechanism. So if you go somewhere where you can't land, for example, because the terrain is rough or there are too many children on the ground or whatever, then we can lower the payload via a winch.
Okay.
Yeah, we have even developed a system that allows us to carry 3 packages and lower those packages at 3 different points on the same flight.
And that you define at the start of the journey, I assume,
Yes.
not at when you arrive.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, cool. Thank you very much for your explanation.
You're very welcome. Thank
Have a
you.
nice day.
All right.